Hi, welcome to episode number six, I think. Okay, six. And in this video, I'm going to talk about Gujarat. So yeah, let's talk about Gujarat. So Gujarat is a really big topic, and I can't really talk about everything. So I have to summarize it. So first, we are going to talk about how Gujarat was formed, and then I'm talking about little bit about geology, and I'm going to show you some old maps. So yeah, that's what I'm going to talk about. Anything. Let's start with how Gujarat was formed, and before that uh, now onwards I'm going to record all my videos with this setting, because in older setting I was using this 50 mm lens, and it was good for portraits, but it was not really good for video because I have to stand very far from my camera, and it's not very interactive like this. So camera is right here. And okay, that's it. So what we recognize today as a Gujarat was not a state before 1960. So 4th May 1960 Gujarat was formed, and the reason and why how Gujarat was formed, because a movement called Maha Gujarat movement with the help of Indulal Yagnik. And before that, like even before that, if we look at the map of 1951, Gujarat wasn't even a state. It was part of Bombay Presidency, and the Kutch and Saurashtra Kathiawar was also not part of Gujarat. They are separated because uh, when Sardar Patel gathered all the state and put India together, so focus on putting so many princesses together and not form states. So when you look at the older maps, they are completely different from today's map of India. So Bombay Presidency. So Gujarat was part of the Bombay Presidency. So in 1953, Jawaharlal Nehru formed committee called uh, SRC, State Recognition Commission. So SRC make a report on the um, to form a state on base of linguistic. So to form a state based on the language. For example, Gujarat was formed because a lot of people speak Gujarati, and Maharashtra was formed because a lot of people speak Marathi. So yeah, so this is how the states were formed. And after, like, they were pretty sure about making Gujarat, but they were they were not very sure about Dang, because when in 1948, when Morarji Desai visited Dang, he found out that a lot of people speak Marathi, but when the Indulal Yagnik we visited Dang, and he found out that a lot of people speak Gujarati also. So later on, and with meeting, and they decided that Dang was part of Gujarat and not Maharashtra. So just think about that. If uh, today Dang was part of Maharashtra, and we have to go to Maharashtra to just go to Saputara, it's very weird. And so Gujarat has six big rivers, like six total rivers, and two of them are very large. So Gujarat has Sabarmati, Mahi, Narmada, Tapi, and Shetranjai. And Tapi and Narmada are the longest rivers of Gujarat and also biggest rivers. In terms of length, I think the Narmada is fifth longest river of India, and Tapi is the 10th. Yeah, and they are very old river too. They are. So when first in 19 in I think 16th century, when British British people first came to India, they came to Surat, and the port called Hajira. So yeah, and I'm going to show you older maps of Surat and Gujarat also. And when you look at these older maps, uh, I think before that we should talk about mountain. So Gujarat has four mountains range: Arvalli, Vindhyachal, Satpura, and Western Ghats. So in south region where I live, we have Satpura and Western Ghats. So Gujarat is made of four parts. So we have Saurashtra, which is also called Kathiawar and Saurashtra Peninsula, and Kutch, Central Gujarat, and South Gujarat, also North Gujarat. So it's made up of these parts. And also, apart from that, we have two gulfs: the Gulf of Kutch and Gulf of Cambay. Today we know as Gulf of Khambat, but it's Gulf of Cambay. And yeah, so And also we have two big mountains. One is called Pavagadh and one is called Girnar. They are very large and compared to other mountains in Gujarat. And Gujarat is very flat with compared to other states like Himachal Pradesh and Jammu Kashmir. If you look at Gujarat, because it's a coastal region. Also, uh, Gujarat has coastal line of 1600 kilometers, which is longest in India. So that's give Gujarat a very good as on economics. So yeah, I think that's the reason. Also, Gujarat was a trading hub for British people and Portuguese uh, for a very long period. So I think that gave Gujarat very edge on economics. Okay, so let's talk about older maps. So when you look at older maps of Gujarat and especially India, you first realize the name are very different. So they called Balsar, Vadodara, Baroda, and they called Tapti. Also, they called Porbandar, literally like Porbandar. I think the docking charges were very low at that point. Also, Kutch was Kutch, Cuth, Kutch, not Kutch, and they called Gujarat, not Gujarat. So it's very different if you look at today's perspective. Gulf of Kampat was Kambe, and also if you look at the older maps of Surat, they called Swali, literally like Swali, and they called Umra, and Dumas. So it's very weird that. And if you look at old, older maps, they are very accurate, like from today's perspective. So let's talk about energy. So Gujarat has very high and energy production compared to other states, and also we sell electricity to other states also. And in India, also Gujarat has one nuclear power plant, and also various thermal power plant and hydropower plant. Also, Gujarat has two big ports. One is called Hachira, and one is called Kandla and Kutch. So they are very large ports of Gujarat. Also, what is left to talk about? Yes, Gujarat has 4 national park and 23 wildlife sanctuaries, and also Gujarat has. Okay, so if we talk about like geology and all of that, so Saurashtra is very dry region. Uh, the Kutch region is very deserty, and if you look at the north part of Gujarat, the North Gujarat, it's a very hilly area and also very dry area. And if you look at the south part, the South Gujarat, it's very dense forest. I mean, the not all South Gujarat is forest, but if you look at the Dang, it's very foresty, and it has, I think, the densest forest of Gujarat. So yeah, and it's very hilly region. It's completely different. If you look at the Ahmedabad, and if you look at the Dang, if you look at the Kutch, they have very different. Also, Gujarat has two deserts. One is called Kutch Big Desert and Kutch Small Desert. And yeah, also Gujarat has one white desert, the famous white desert of Kutch, and also if we have the Kutch festival. Uh, also, Gujarat has various Parsi pilgrimage like Parsi temples in Palitana in Shatrunjay mountain. So let's talk about population. And the population of Gujarat is 60 million, and 88% of them are Hindus, and 9% of them are Muslims, and then comes Jainism and Christianity and others. So yeah, and the area of Gujarat is 196,000 kilometers, and it's a 9th populous state of India, and it has GDP of 230 billion US dollars, and it has very also it has 2-3 sites of Indus Valley civilization like Lothal, and I don't know about the other side. I literally forget the name of other side, and also it has landmarks like Statue of Unity, Sun Mandir of Modasa, or Mehsana. I don't know. It's a Sun Mandir, and also we have Sardar Sarovar Dam and Dandi, where Gandhiji did the Dandi March, and that he hold salt and said, I actually forget what he said, but it was all about that tax cut on salt. And also very famous people are from Gujarat, like Sardar Patel and Gandhiji, Narendra Modi. Okay, so Gujarat has one. So Gujarat has largest cricket stadium in the world and largest statue in the world. Also Gujarat is the only place where Asiatic lion are still there and not extinct. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you like it. I hope you like this video, and please subscribe. I have to do a lot of research and I can't cover everything in this video because the topic of Mahagujarat movement, the topic of how Gujarat state is formed, and the historic incidents are very big, and I have to do a lot of research for it. So maybe I will cover it in next video.